Students, today we are going to study the topic prepositions. What is a preposition? A preposition is a word that shows the relation between a noun or a pronoun and some other words in a sentence. So basically, preposition is that word which will relate a noun or a pronoun with other words in a sentence. Let us understand how. A preposition is placed before a noun or a pronoun. So always remember, preposition will be followed by either a noun or a pronoun. Preposition, as the name suggests, preposition, they are position words. They help us to know the location or the position of the noun or a pronoun in most of the cases. For example, where is the ball? Let us get some basic understanding of the topic today, preposition. Where is the ball? Here in the first example, you can see the ball is in the box. In the other example, it is on the table. In the third one, you can see it is under the table. And in third one, though the ball is not visible, but it says it is near the table. So what will you understand? That it is somewhere close by. The ball is near the table. So all these words which are telling us where the ball is. Even if you say a sentence, you can visualize where that object is. So these are the words which are prepositions: in, on, under, near, at, of, from, of, towards, to, into, inside, beneath. All these words we use, they are prepositions. And each preposition will change the meaning. If you say that the ball is in the box, then you know that it is kept inside this box. If it is under, that means it is lying under, below it somewhere. And on the table, it is lying on the surface. So the position of the ball is changing, and with the preposition we get to know where is it kept. So preposition is very important. Let us learn some more prepositions. How and when do we use them? Let us learn few of the examples, few of the prepositions with this figure. So here is the term written preposition. There is a boundary drawn around it. Then as you can see, in is written inside. This is the boundary drawn, and in is written inside, here inside. This means in is used whenever something is kept inside another thing. For example, just we saw that the ball was kept in the box. So in is used when something is kept inside a thing. An object is placed inside another object, then we use the preposition in. Then we use below. If something is below the surface level, below the level, it is at the lower level of a at the lower level, then we use below, then we use under. All right, something is at the higher level, then we say above, over. Right, something is at the lower level, we say below, under. When something is at the higher level, then we say it is above or it is over. We will learn the difference. When do we say use below and when do we use under? What is the difference between the two? We will learn. Then there is also preposition of. The ball, this jacket is made of leather. So of is another preposition that we use. Then there is preposition to. It is generally to show the direction. To, she's going to London. So she's moving in the direction, she'll be going to London. So we use the preposition to. At, in. At is used when we are referring to one particular place, exact spot we are talking. He's standing at the door, in the house. So in is used in the larger context, inside the house, in the house. At is used when we are talking about a particular place where he's standing at the gate, at the doorstep. Then upon. Upon is again when something is being kept or thrown on the surface. then we use the preposition upon. On. When something is already kept on a surface, we use on. The ball is kept on the table. Then the cat jumped upon the table. So when something is already kept at place, we use on. The cat is sitting on the table. Then we use on. When she is jumping, that is moving from something and coming on a surface, then we use upon. She jumped, the cat jumped upon the table. So that is the difference between on and upon. Then between, among. As you can see, the arrow says between P and O, there is an arrow. Between is used between when you are inserting something lying, or something is lying between two things, we use between. This arrow is in between P and O. So we use between. These all are prepositions that you use in your daily life. Now, there are some prepositions in which we tend to get confused when and where to use, and there are certain rules about it, that whenever this is the situation, then use this preposition. So today we will clear some doubts about it, and in the next class we will study about the different prepositions of place, prepositions of time, preposition of manner. We will study in detail. Today we will get a general idea of the prepositions we use in our daily life. First we will talk about these prepositions: at and in. When to use at, when to use in. When you are referring to a particular place, a particular spot you are referring to, then you use at. And when you are referring to a larger area, then you use in. I live in Lucknow, I live in Indranagar. But when you are using at, you are referring to a particular spot. I am standing at the doorstep. She's at the church. He's standing at the gate. So at is used when you're referring to a one particular point, but in, she's at the gate of the school. She's in the city, in this country, in this area. In is referred when we are referring to a large area in general, large place, to any city, area, country. Then we use the term in, and when we are referring to one particular spot in that place, then we use the term at. She's at the doorstep. Alright? Then when do we use in and when do we use into? Suppose there is a classroom and the teacher is in the classroom. When the teacher is inside the classroom, then you will say the teacher is in the classroom. And when the teacher is coming from the corridor, from the staff room, she is moving inside the classroom, then you say the teacher is going into the classroom. So in is when you are already inside something, inside the classroom, inside the ball is in the box. It is already kept there. So we say in the box. And suppose there's, when do we say into? When something moves inside. There's movement happening. She jumped into the well. So there's movement happening. Somebody is already inside the well, you'll say he's in the well. But if somebody is getting into it, jumping, motion is happening, movement is happening, then he's jumping into the well. He's going into the room. She's entering into the hall. So in is used when you're already inside, into when you're entering, going to some place. Then we use into. Above and over. When we are talking to something which is at a higher level. Suppose this is a house and there is a bird which is flying over. Or you can say, wait, this is a room and there is a fan here. Suppose we are standing here. So the fan is above you. It is at a higher level. If you are standing directly below this fan, then you will say the fan is over me. If suppose you are not standing directly under the fan, you are standing somewhere at the side, the fan is not just directly above you, then you will say The fan is above me. When something is directly on your head, you're just under it, then you use the term over. And if something is at a higher level, just not above your head, but it is at some higher level, then you use above. For example, let me explain again. For example, you are out in the street. The sun is high above in the sky. The sun is up above. The stars are up above in the sky. Somewhere up. They need not be right over you. When you are standing just beneath the sun, or you are standing just beneath an object, a aeroplane is passing just above your head, then you will say the plane is going over me. While if the plane is at some distance, it is in the air, it is in the sky, but it is somewhere at a distance, then you say it is above me. So when something is directly on your head, directly above you, you say it is over me. It is covering you, then it is over you. While it is just at a higher level, then you say it is above me. Similarly with below and under. When something is directly being covered, say this ball is lying under this table. So we say under because it is just directly under this table. If suppose the ball was not under the table but just lying here, it is below the table. It is below at the lower level of the surface of the table, but it is not just under it. Then we say below. The apple fell under the tree. So if the apple fell and it is lying, under the tree only, it is being covered by the tree, then you say it fell under the tree. But suppose it fell and it went down, rolled down and went some at a distance, then you will say it fell below on the ground. So when something is directly above you, on your head, covering you, it is over. And when you are beneath something, directly under it, then you use the term under. Then another important preposition is for and since. We get confused where to use for and where to use since. We studied in our last chapter tenses also. For is used when we are referring to some duration of time. Since is used when we are talking about some point of origin. When you know the starting point of something, then we use since. Since 2005, I am learning guitar. Since morning we know the initial point, since morning, since last Tuesday, since 2005. When you know the original initial starting point of something, then we use since. But when we are referring to some duration, then we use for. She has been learning guitar for 2 months now. For how much time? 2 months. If we say she is learning guitar, say a date is given from say 25th October, then you will say she's learning since 25th October. We have a starting point is given, then we say since. If we say she has been learning guitar since 25th, that is for 2 months. If we say she's learning for 2 months, we are talking about duration, then we will say for 2 months, for a week now, for an year now, for 2 hours. So it could be any year, month, minute, seconds. But if duration is given, you use for. If you are given a starting point exactly from at this since 7 o'clock, since 2005, since Monday, so exact starting point is given, then we use since. Then of and from. When we are talking about diseases, he died of heart attack. So when we are generally referring to diseases, she died of cancer, we use generally of. She is suffering from fever. When we are talking about suffering, that a person is suffering from something, then we use from. She is suffering from high fever. So you know the difference of and from. With and by. Whenever there is an instrument being used, then we use this with and by. Suppose the vegetables are cut with a knife by her. You are cutting something, an instrument is used. So the instrument you are using with. with a knife, with a saw, with a chisel, with a spade, by the person who is using that weapon or that tool. Then we use by for the person, by her, by him. So the vegetables were cut with a knife by her. The cake was cut with a knife by her. So with is used for any tool or any instrument that you are using, and by is used in this case when we are referring to the person. So this is being cut with a knife by her. So with this thing, by her. So always remember the usage of these. We tend to get confused. So please revise the usage of these prepositions. This is very basic and you should be clear about these ideas. One more thing, let's see adverbs and prepositions. There are some words which can be used as prepositions also, and they are used as adverbs also. So how do we come to know they are being used as adverbs or they are used as prepositions? Prepositions are used, they are placed before a noun or pronoun. Remember we studied in the beginning, preposition will be followed by a noun or a pronoun, while adverbs are not. If we come across such terms of, from, in, into, up, above, and they are not followed by a noun or a pronoun, then they are adverbs. Let us understand with examples. They went up the hill. Here we know what is the noun here? Hill. They went up. So up is preposition. If we say they went up, there is nothing, no noun or pronoun followed by up. So up is adverb here. The train went off the track. The track is what? Noun. So we see that this preposition, this word is followed by the noun. So it is preposition. If we said the plane took off, so here there is no other noun. It is not followed by any noun. So it is adverb. So I hope this much is clear to you. In our next class, we will study in detail about the prepositions of time, of place, of direction, of manner. So till then, clear the basic concept. What are the basic prepositions we use in our daily life?